Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fan the Flames with me, your host, Robert Stevenson. And today, in this short episode, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about expectation and the weight of expectation. It's really interesting how we can put really heavy expectations upon ourselves, how we can bring the weight of the world and place it on our own shoulders and behave like it's nothing and like we've got this, when actually it's weighing us down, it's pulling us back, it's depleting our energy and our joy. And I wonder how many of us have placed such a heavy weight on the tasks that we have, the projects that we're trying to complete, the business that we're trying to grow, the book that we're trying to write. How many of us have placed such a heavy weight of expectation upon that it can't flow, that it can't go anywhere, because that weight is just holding it down. It's just pulling it back. It's interesting to notice that we can be the reason why we're not going forward. We can be the reason why we're not achieving the things that we want to achieve, because we've just put too much expectation on our own shoulders. Recently, I've been doing some work on some new training, and I noticed that I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't enjoying the preparation. I was caught in my head. I was anxious. I wasn't sleeping well as I was working through this. And somebody just said to me, hey, maybe you're just expecting too much of yourself. Maybe you're setting the bar so high for yourself that you can't reach that bar. You can't get there on this first go. Remember, it's a process. And it's like, it's really easy to forget that there's a process about this stuff, right? You know, we start somewhere and we do it and we get a bit better, and we do it and make some mistakes. We learn from that, we get a bit better, and we do it again and we do it again. And then we hit a place of excellence, a place of mastery where we've done it enough time that it's in our system. And what's interesting is that we can get in the way of that mastery by having too much expectations, by having too much weight, by getting caught up in our perfectionist stuff, being caught up in being right, getting it right first time can cause us to get in the way of our flow. And isn't it funny how, when we watch elite tennis players doing their thing, when they're in flow, they're not thinking about the next shot. They're just enjoying this shot, this moment. They're just going with it. They've done the prep. So they know that in the moment, they can just experience it. They can just be with it. And in that being with it, they do their best work. So perhaps there's something here about, instead of placing a weight of expectation on our shoulders, how about we just do the prep? We just do what's needed. We do the amount that's necessary for the work that we have ahead of us. How about we get into the process? How about we start to enjoy the process? We start to enjoy the learning and not get caught on the outcome, not get caught on what's going to happen in the end, but be enjoying, is that language? Enjoying and being in the moment of what's happening right now. So as we're learning new programs, for myself, if I'm learning new things, enjoying the learning of those new things right now, and thinking about how do those things impact me, as opposed to going, I've got to get all of this in my head and get it right. Because that pressure of getting it all in your head kind of stops it from actually getting in your head anyway, because you're caught in the thinking of, I've got to get this right, not in allowing your mind to process what you're learning. And as I talk about this, I wonder, what are the limiting beliefs that might be at play here? What are the beliefs that you might be holding that lead to you placing that huge expectation on your shoulders? I was talking with one of my mentors a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying that, there are these four groupings of beliefs, that the other beliefs kind of live with or span from. The belief about good enough, not good enough, not skilled enough, not fast enough, not strong enough, not pretty enough. There's one about failure. I'm a failure. I'll fail at this. There's no point starting because I'm going to fail. So what's the point of even doing it? There's one about belonging. Do I belong? I don't belong. And there's fitting in. I don't fit in. You know, I might be part of the group. I don't fit the group. There might be, I'm an outsider. I don't belong here. And it made me think about, you know, what one of those four might be running for me when I put a weight of expectation on my shoulders. It could be enough. I'm not good enough. So I have to work even harder because I'm not good enough. It could be that. It could be I'm a failure. I'm going to get this wrong. And therefore, I need to do everything in my power to not get it wrong, to not fail. It might be belonging. You know, I want to belong to this group. I want to belong to this community. And the only way that I can do that is by getting this right. It might be about fitting in. It might be that I don't feel like I fit in, but if I do this work really well, then maybe I'll have a sense of fitting in. And I'm not really sure right now which one of those it is. It feels like it might be a little bit of all of them. But what I recognize is that there is a flip side to this. Okay. So with the enough, I am enough. You are enough exactly as you are. You have all the skills and the resources. You just have to allow yourself to access them. Failure. Well, do you know what? Sometimes we have to fail, have that first attempt in learning in order to have our further attempts in learning, in order to progress. You know, at Ivy House, we talk a lot about, you know, how do we fail forward and how do we fail fast? How do we make those failures? How do we get things wrong so we can learn from that? When we think about belonging, well, where do I belong? You know, I have the communities that I belong to. You will have the communities and spaces that you belong to too. And fitting in, well, maybe we don't fit in, but maybe that's the fitting in. Maybe, you know, maybe we are the outsider. And by being the outsider, we bring our gifts and our magic and our perspective to the environments that we are inhabiting, the places that we are working. So when I think about those limiting beliefs, I go, how do I reframe them? How do I shift them into empowering beliefs? Beliefs I can carry with me that can help me move forward. Beliefs that enable me to get into my flow. And when I think about learning new work, I go, do you know what? I'm great. I'm brilliant at this stuff. I just need to allow myself the time to get into it, to get into flow, to learn it, to understand it. So when you're putting the weight of the world on your shoulders, maybe give yourself a little bit of time. Maybe step back a bit, take a new perspective. Because when you're putting that weight on your shoulders, you're dousing your own flame, your own fire, your own sparks. When you're putting the weight on your shoulders, think about that first attempt in learning. Think about, actually, what can I learn from this? You know, I put the work in. It's not about not doing the work. So it's not about going, do you know what? I'm just not going to do the work. I'm just going to turn up and see what happens. We have to put the work in, right? But put the work in a way that supports you, that helps you, that enables you to grow, as opposed to the work that pulls you down. Check out, is your inner critic having a beautiful time in your mind? And maybe get into your body, maybe take a walk, maybe take a run, maybe go for a swim, maybe stretch, maybe just sit and meditate and breathe. And perhaps that's something you need to do before you begin the learning. So you create the conditions for yourself to be at your best as you learn something new, as you begin something new, as you grow your business, as you write that book, as you begin whatever it is that you are beginning. And I'm sharing this with you because these are reflections that I've had for me. And I realized that, you know, I can keep all these reflections to myself, and that's great. And they'll help me and they'll support me. But maybe you need to hear this. Maybe you are struggling with this. Maybe that spark you have, you're not letting it turn into a roaring fire because you're putting too much weight on it. And you need to take some of that weight off. You need to give it some space so it can get some air, so it can grow. So if this has resonated with you at all, then let me know in the comments. If this has helped you to think about what you're doing and how you might be holding yourself back, then let me know. It would be great to hear how this is supporting you, helping you to move forward, to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And as I talk about goals, maybe we get into the habit of enjoying the process, enjoying the journey to that achievement. So it's not just about the out there, that when I get there, I'll enjoy it. It's the, how can I enjoy it in this moment? How can I enjoy the journey of getting there? Because we may never get there. And so we may never get to that enjoyment. But if we're enjoying the journey, then we're always in that space of flow, of love, of joy. So take a look at your expectations. Have a look at the weight that you are placing on your shoulders. Check out your beliefs. What are the beliefs that are sitting underneath? And are they supporting you, or might you need to shift them? And if you want help with that, you want support with that, then you know where I am. So enjoy your day, your week, your month, your year, whatever it is that you are up to. Remember, we are here to help you, to support you, turning that spark into a roaring fire. This is me, Robert Stevenson, creative director here at Fan the Flames Coaching, saying have a great day today and every day.